What's up, guys? It's your girl Gina here with a new episode of Anime While Black. Our special guest today is Nevos Tyler. You guys love him. I love him. I know you've seen him on the con scene touring with his rap anime style of lyrics and just like his content on his page. I'm so excited. So excited to have him on board. So, without further ado, let's welcome our special guest.
Hey,
Boom, there he is, the one and
what's
only.
poppin'? What's poppin'? Hey guys, thank you, Regina, for having me. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I'm so excited to be
Yes.
on Anime While Black. I love the title of the show by itself. Like, it's such a great idea. Like, when I read it, I was like, that's so clever. Like, it's so clever. Like you said, my name's Nevos Tyler. I go by your local rap and weed. I'm a rapper. Performed all over at conventions, IckyCon, WeebCon, SumiCon in Vegas. Performed with Senpai Squad, made a music video with them. It's coming out in April. A lot of things that I've done over the past like year or two. Um, and I just I love what I'm doing. Anime rap, yo. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Regina, again. Thank you.
Thank you for like that like special introduction, because like wow, like just the space of being an anime rapper or your local weeb and just kind of entering into these different cons as a performer from like it's just like it's amazing what the community is doing and to be able to talk
Yeah.
to you about that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Honestly, like when I started doing it, I didn't expect as warm a welcome as I got. And like it's been refreshing to see everyone so willing to try to take on something that's relatively new to the scene with
Hmm.
such open arms. No one's like I have yet to, I should say, no, I have yet to receive like someone pushing me away because of what I did, at least what I do, like the fact that
We're
I'm a
not even
rapper,
going
you
to
know?
expect that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a beautiful thing, you know? It's a beautiful thing.
Right. So, I mean, let's get into these questions. Can you share with our listeners a bit about yourself and your journey into the world of anime and rap?
Yeah, of course. So a bit about myself. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois.
Mhm.
I lived out there till about 12, moved to Virginia, then Virginia to Vegas after college, and Vegas to Houston. So I hopped around a little bit, like a little bunny
A
rabbit,
little
you know?
bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. Yeah, nah. But in each of those places, I kind of picked up an influence for my music. My
Mhm.
dad was a OG rapper in Chicago. He was coming
Right.
up along the side of like Kanye West, Common, people like that. Um, so I have it in my family history, this music stuff, you know.
It's in your
Um,
blood,
yeah, kind of is like.
right?
um, so from there, went to Virginia. Virginia, kind of like I grew up. I was a kid. I grew up, and then I moved to Vegas. Vegas is where I really like doubled down on top of
Mhm.
my music career.
Mhm.
I started in Richmond, Virginia, trying to get into the rap scene. Like, okay, I really want to do this. If I really want to do this, that's Richmond, Virginia. When I was in college, moved to
Nice.
Vegas, and Vegas is where I really like started making the sound. Met people in the music scene out there. Did a bunch of things like open mics, performances, and really built up myself as a rapper. And then when
Mhm.
I moved to Houston, I realized there was a booming anime scene out here. So I was like, yo, let me see what I can do in that field. And I took everything I learned from Richmond and Vegas, hip hop, and try to
Mhm.
kind of brought that swag to the anime scene as an anime rapper. And yeah, now we're here.
Like, and that's like such a diverse sound too, because like you've got Richmond sound, you've got
Hmm.
Vegas, and then
Hmm.
now to come to Houston, how do you, as an artist, like blend those sounds together, or what do you take from that, and how do you make your own sound?
To be honest with you, I kind of just create based off of how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
So with the Richmond, I took a lot of I think I felt like the grit that Richmond had to it. I ran with that.
Mhm.
Um, Chicago, I took that in like with the Kanye samples. So like the way I throw in samples to my music, like Bunny Girl, you have the vocal sample of the actual Bunny Girl outro, you know. That's the song Bunny Girl of Mine. Um, the straightforwardness of some of my bars, like the Richmond vibe. Vegas, I think. I got like I kind of like my flashiness from Vegas, to be honest with you. Um, like the Gengar chain, stuff like that. Took the
Yeah.
idea. That was like something that I was like, you know what? I cooked up on in Vegas. The styling of myself, the blonde hair, that's something I cooked up while in Vegas. Um, so a lot of my style came from my Vegas days. The sound, like the sound itself, has been Chicago and Richmond mainly.
Yeah.
Houston has really influenced me in the sense of like just a businessman, more so than the
Yeah.
music itself, a businessman. I've learned how to really handle myself around some high quality people
Mhm.
because of the the circles Houston has placed me in.
Yes.
So that is a beautiful thing in itself, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too. Like as a native Houstonian, like the way we move is a little
Hmm.
bit different, especially in when it comes to
Yeah.
entertainment. And so it's
Yeah.
like Jay-Z, I'm a businessman.
Man. Yeah, exactly. I'm a business. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That makes so much sense. Like
it's so dope.
it just like Houston has so much more to it as far as the rap culture than just
Hmm.
the rap. It's
Hmm.
definitely a business. What inspired you to create your, love for, you know, anime and rap? What like honestly, aside from your family, like just kind of gave you that final push into the like industry where you're like, I'm gonna get out there. What was your first show? That was a folded
Um,
question.
the you're fine. So my first show in the anime rap was my first show in general.
Your first show with the anime rap.
Anime rap. The first show I did anime rap was Pop Fancy actually. I performed at Pop Fancy, the
Okay.
dessert bar. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they had a
Very familiar with
anime,
them.
yeah, anime gaming event, and I kind of just hit them up. I said, "Hey, do you guys mind if I perform here? I have these anime themed songs. I think will go well."
Mm,
And they let me come in and do my thing, and they really enjoyed it. The crowd really enjoyed it. They brought me back a few times. I had a lot of fun, and I was like, you know what? I think I can do this anime rap thing out here in Houston.
mm,
Um, Prior to that, I had tried doing the more YouTube anime rap vibe and tried
mm,
creating just like content like anime freestyle battles between characters or raps about characters
mhm,
or from a character's perspective. But those never felt like me. It felt like I was just mimicking what
mm.
other people had been doing online,
Yeah,
and it didn't bring me any sort of like fulfillment as an artist, you know.
yeah.
Um,
You weren't feeling
so
authentic.
yeah, exactly. I didn't feel authentic at all. I felt very just forced to try to match an algorithm. I didn't like that. Um, so when I got to Houston, saw the booming anime scene, and then saw Pop Fancy, Weeb Stop, all the conventions going on. I was like, there's something tangible here. I can take the like my first anime song was called Weeaboo Ish. And that was just like me dropping anime bars after bar after bar after bar. Like the first line is like all my I keep it one for all. I'm one man, but all y'all can catch your hands. So like stuff like that, you know. Um, then I dropped Weeabooed Up, and that was more of a dancey song about
Mhm.
conventions and girls at conventions and bars as well. So
The scene, the scene.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So it was a good time. And those two songs really set in motion me going like, you know what? I think I can build on this anime rap thing in a
Mhm,
way that feels authentic to me and
mhm.
present it to people through the avenues I see available through the anime scene.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. Speaking of anime, what character or series do you feel like you really like pull from or inspires some of your raps? Like, is there a like,
Yeah,
alter
for sure,
ego?
for sure. 100% Naruto is
Uh-huh.
like the go-to for me because like growing up, that was like the show I was always and like seeing him go after his dream to become Hokage was like so inspiring to me. And then seeing him actually fulfill it in Naruto Shippuden and like get all the accolades and love and seeing him go from like the kid that everyone was like, ah, no, demon to like, oh my
Hmm.
God, he's the hero. He's the strongest Hokage ever. It was a very like inspirational thing for me. So like, I think including like my parents, the way my parents brought me up, like the inspiration they gave me and everything.
Yeah.
tying that into what they were telling me, Naruto really hit home for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
he
Naruto, I feel like is the starter pack for a lot of weebs, like,
hmm
but in a good way. Because I used to have beef with Naruto
Oh,
fandom.
really?
Yeah, I had a little beef.
Why? Why? What was you doing? What was wrong with
It
Naruto?
was the toxic fandom. That's all. It was
Uh-huh.
the toxic fandom. But like Naruto actually is not bad. Like I love those type of series where, you're fighting for the underdog and
hmm
you're rooting for them and he has like a real character arc. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him. It was just the
Yeah.
fans.
The
Like
fan base, yeah. The
the
fan
fan
base ruins a
base.
lot of things for real. Fan base
Yeah.
ruins a lot of things. It was like
Yes.
I try to steer clear of them a lot of the time. Like I go to these conventions and everything, but like I don't deep dive into fan bases anymore. I stopped like that in the beginning of college because I think they
Hmm.
started ruining like Attack on Titan for me, and I was like, I don't want this.
Uh,
I was like, I don't want
yeah.
this. You guys suck.
Attack on Titan had a toxic fan base. Attack on
hmm
Titan, um, Full Metal Alchemist, The
hmm
Brotherhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
yeah, I mean, and I could definitely tell like Naruto has a big impact on your like your just kind of persona and stuff, but not in a
hmm
bad way. Like, because I don't
Okay.
want to say like give that hate, but like it definitely had like watching your journey. Like, and of course, I did my research on you. I'm like, okay, I can see how he kind of has an influence. Do you
hmm
think there are
Cool.
any other characters in the anime verse that have an impact or like
Oh yeah, for
on your
sure.
music and your creative process?
For sure. Other characters would be so alter ego type vibe, like you said earlier, right?
Mhm.
I'm a pretty laid back dude for the most part, but like when I rap, I become like my most prideful self a lot of the time.
Mhm.
So on that tangent,
Mhm.
Escanor has always been
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's always been like that dude to me. So like he
Mhm.
kind of like drives a lot of my inner ego when I go into the booths. I'm like, I think back to that one scene where he was like, "Why would I be scared of someone that I look down on?" And I'm like, "Dang, bro, that's kind of dirty." Like that's the mentality I go into sometimes when it comes to this rap thing.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just because it's a pride thing. It's
Mhm.
Escanor's whole thing is the sin of pride, and it's
Yeah.
100% of pride. I take pride in what I do.
Mhm.
So when I step into the booth, I guarantee you I'm a do my thing. If I'm not the best in the room, you still gonna think I'm really, really good.
It's the
But
confidence.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So let's talk about some of those lyrics where you incorporate, like the like anime and the imagery because like
hmm
I'm deeming you a wordsmith. I've listened to like a lot of your stuff and I'm just like, like is I've heard some other anime rap and it's just like a little corny. They just kind of throw some
Yeah,
stuff in there, but you're like
yeah.
a for real legit rapper and you mentioned your dad as well. Like you're a
hmm
real lyricist. So how do
Yeah.
you not without giving out trade secrets, but how do you, when you sit down and you start writing, how do you do, what's your process like?
Yeah. So when I sit down and start writing, I recently I've been using a lot of I use the instrumental as inspiration.
Hmm.
So like if I have an inspiration sent over by my homie Joel or my homie Who Vibes, um, I grab the vibe of the track and then I
Hmm.
start from there. So like
Hmm.
say Bunny Girl, when Joel sent me Bunny Girl, right? I knew I wanted to sample the Bunny Girl song. I had no idea what the song was gonna be about. I just know I
Yeah.
wanted to do Bunny Girl and have it be like a dancey vibe. So he sent it to me and I sat down and thought about it. And the first thing that came to mind was the chorus. So I was
Hmm.
like, dance for me, bunny girl, dance for me, yeah, dance for me, bunny. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. So from that moment on, it was how do I elaborate on dance for me, bunny girl?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the natural thought for me was let's make a song about dancing with a girl in a bunny suit. So then
Hmm.
you get the opening. I'm gonna need a bunny girl that can break it down. So like, I need a bunny girl break it down. Blah 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 blah. Nerdy girl, all that jazz. Um, and in the process of doing that, I try to take like either characters, imagery, or ideas from the shows that inspire the song or inspire
Hmm.
me in that moment, and
Hmm.
try to tie them into the song in one way or another. Specifically like Bunny Girl. I remember saying something about like I can't remember the exact line at the moment in time, but something along the lines of the girls dancing in the silhouette of the moon, her silhouette in the moon, something like
Mhm.
that. And that was direct imagery taken from the
From the anime.
outro from the
Yeah.
anime where she's dancing in front of the moon. So like
Yes.
and then there's also a line was like at the end of the song where I say, um, I don't know if anybody could see her. I'm dancing all alone. So it's like you can't see the bunny girl in the show. I'm
Right.
dancing alone, and then it's like dance for me. It's like, is she really just in my imagination? Is she real? Is she actually a girl there? So it's things like that, little nitpicky parts I can tie
Mhm.
in to the song or the greater theme of the song and kind of tell a little bit of a story. So that's kind of how I do that. And when I can't think of stuff, I just look online and then try to pull pull from ideas from online. So like it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's like a puzzle. Like a puzzle.
Yeah. Here's a sideways question. Do you feel that being in Houston has like lended to your creative process and like, yeah,
Yeah, easily.
in what
100%. Yeah.
way?
So since I'm in the anime scene a lot,
Mhm.
uh, moving around Houston, meeting a whole bunch of new people, doing the cosplay and things of that, I've gained a lot more experience with people in general because I'm coming out of my shell over the past couple years while in Houston, actually. So I now have more experiences to pull from for my music because of the people I've interacted with, the things that have happened to me, um, the people, just the colorful personalities I'm around because of the anime scene.
Mhm.
Um, and also from a business perspective,
Mhm.
I'm able to incorporate um, a lot more people into what I'm doing because Houston has such a bustling scene for anime and music. So now I have ties where I can say, hey, friend from the anime scene, come over here and do this thing with me from my friend in the music scene, and we can
Mhm.
create something really dope, like the Kyoto music video,
Yeah.
where I have my homegirl Holly, who's the cosplayer, come and be the co-star, while my homie Randy, who's my videographer and my music engineer, comes to film and do his part. So like I get to combine the two because of how Houston is set up. You know?
Yeah. I watched that video. I loved it. I love the
Yeah.
cityscapes, how you made sure to incorporate that. Because, like,
Yeah.
as a Estonian, I was like, I know where that is. I know where
Yeah.
that
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We wanted to do that. It was, and that's, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. That is Randy, because I'm not Houstonian. So
Mhm.
Randy is well versed in Houston.
Mhm.
Um, so he's able to say, let's go to this location so we can
Right.
get this angle shot, so we can get this look, we can get this vibe. So we shot at the Bayou, and
Yeah.
a lot of those shots were as cool as they were because Randy knows the city so well. So it's
Who
really amazing.
his visuals were really dope, and like that lens to like you are a storyteller, and so that was one of the videos that I was like, okay, he's
Mhm.
getting into his storytelling bag with
Yeah,
this one.
a little
Like,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
little bit, little taste, because like I know, like you've got the dancey vibes and stuff like that, but like at the same time, it's like it's a nice little lyrical flex to like
Yeah.
kind of pull your fans in and like give them a change up, just that
Hmm.
that diverse type of thing.
That's
Um,
exactly what I wanted to do.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, let me go off topic here. Well, off script.
You're fine.
And I was thinking, who in Houston, in the anime community or in the Houston rap community, would you want to collab with? Off script. Woo.
Ooh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. In the
Hmm.
Houston community. Ooh, he's a bigger artist.
Uh-huh.
Now he got best new artist I think 2 years ago, but
Uh-huh.
Toby Nwenge.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I would
easily. Hell
love.
yeah.
Oh my God, I love to collaborate with that dude. Would be so dope. He's so good, yo.
Yes.
He's so good.
Yes.
And like,
Yeah.
I actually recorded at Baron Studios where he
Hmm.
recorded moments at
Yeah.
like the whole album, and like they have a frame of him on the wall and everything. And I was like, yo, I didn't even know this dude was a Houstonian. But now that I know, I have to figure out something to get him. I have to do this. Like it has to happen.
Yes. Oh,
He's
that
so
would be
dope.
so.
He's so dope.
My ears are just like
Yeah.
percolating
Yeah.
at the thought, like y'all together.
It'd be so. Oh, I'll be so excited. For
Yeah,
real. I would
that's
love that.
dope. Oh, we might
Hmm.
have to post and repost this episode so that he can see it.
So he sees it. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and
Let's
like
do it.
see about that happening, and then we saw it here first on Anime
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
Black.
Exactly. 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 The
Yeah.
OG.
Let
Uh,
me think. So, anybody else in Houston that you would want to work with?
um.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I had that one in the bank. That's why that's
Yeah,
been in the
like
back of my head
top
since I got
tier. I
here.
mean,
Like,
hard
yeah.
act to follow. Like, who
Yeah.
could follow that?
Um. Another collaboration in
Hmm.
the Houston area. To be honest, my biggest one was Senpai Squad, and that happened. So like that made me
Yeah.
very happy. That was the target that I was aiming for the past like 2 years.
Wow.
So like it having it come to fruition was a very like a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Um, I can't. Yeah, that was the biggest one for me. To the
Okay.
Senpai Squad. So in the anime scene was Senpai Squad, which is happening, and Toby
Mhm.
Nwenge would be outside the anime scene. So I mean, we made one
Right.
happen. We made one happen, right?
So
Like,
it just makes sense. Two is on
yeah,
its way.
yeah,
It's on
exactly.
its
Two's on.
way.
Yeah, it's there. It's coming. Yeah, exactly.
And
You
in
heard it here
less
first on
time.
Anime While Black.
Like it took 2 years for Senpai Squad, so 1 year for
So
Toby
1 year for
Nwije.
exactly, exactly.
One.
That'd be amazing. I would love it so much.
Yes, that would be so dope. Like literally, I'm just like marinated on that because I was listening to him this morning.
Oh
The
yeah.
song Hundo, yeah, because that's
Oh
like in
yeah.
my manifesting
Mhm.
playlist, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. See,
yeah.
it's the manifestation right there.
It's
That's
the
it. Yeah,
manifestation, and it's
that's
like
a
you got
beautiful.
good vibes on top of that, and like
Hmm.
man, so wow.
Yeah, he's
What
phenomenal.
challenges do you feel like you face in this industry as an artist, as a anime rapper? Like, are there any challenges that you face, and how
Oh
do you
yeah,
overcome them? Hmm.
for sure. So a lot of the challenges I'm facing externally, I overcome by using my network, by using the people that are around me. My mother is a large part of my business. Along
Yeah.
with me, she's my partner, and she's very smart. She's very business savvy. She's very corporate as well. So
She
she
from
helps me.
Houston?
Chicago. We're Chicago originally. We're Chicago originally. Yeah. Sorry. But um, she does a really good job of making sure I stay on track, business minded wise. So I use her, uh, friends that I trust dearly, stuff like that to help me with external problems.
Mhm.
Uh, a lot of my own personal problems though come from internal, just like trying to get over my own insecurities and my own shortcomings, and trying my best to consistently feel, because you know how sometimes
Yeah.
things happen in your brain and you're like blah 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 blah. So like I started to develop a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes when I'm in these rooms with people, but like
Yeah.
it's a mental thing that I have to overcome, knowing that I've been through a lot and I've come from a lot. So I do deserve to be where I am type vibe, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so it's just sitting down with myself and talking through it with myself or talking through it with someone I trust dearly usually helps me solve whatever problems I have going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that because I feel like and this is just my opinion, in
Hmm.
the anime community, in the blurred community, there are a lot of people. And then when you said imposter syndrome, that like really resonated for me too, because like, when we had our little banter session before we started recording, I
Hmm.
sometimes like for a long time wasn't telling people like, oh, what do you do outside of anime? Or even before getting into the anime industry, it was
Hmm.
like, I'm a celebrity wardrobe stylist.
Yeah.
And it's not like a title I gave myself. It's like something that I
What you do.
do.
Yeah.
And when you say imposter syndrome as creatives, it's like until you do the next project, what you already did after you got the hurrahs, it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Like
Yeah.
you can hang it
Yeah.
up like your awards on the wall, and it's just like, that was me
It's
for
like that
real.
was,
Like,
yeah, exactly. And
and
it's
like you said, entering into those spaces, and you gave some really good advice because you have a network and you're talking
hmm
to the people close to you. And I think that's an important thing that we could tell the listeners is to be able to start building a network and building your tribe, of people that
yeah,
you trust,
for
because
sure.
a lot of people think, you're an army of one, you just got it on your own, but you have
Mm-mm.
that support system back there,
Yeah, you have to have the support
and that's
system.
very important. That's very
It
important.
genuinely is. You have to have a support system because that will keep you moving when you feel like you can't move. Like
Yeah.
at the very least, having someone to tell your problems to will keep you going when you feel like you're stuck because there's too many things going on.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I applaud my support system every day. All the good friends I have, all the people I've met along the way that have helped me. I'm like, yeah, you guys are the reason I'm able to do this for real. Like,
Yeah. I love that you were so candid in admitting that too to the audience, because you know, I think I think they need to hear that. I think people need to hear
yeah,
that, like, even the people that are successful, you like you and
hmm
we admire, you still have days where you're like, you got to sit with yourself on it. And
yeah,
so to hear that you work on yourself is very good to, start talking about that in our community, because a lot of us deal with imposter syndrome, anxiety,
yeah,
different things where we need to talk
hmm
about it and be okay with that and being like real about ourselves. Like sometimes we need
yeah.
a little conversation that we can keep motivated.
Exactly. And it's important to me too because it's like I said, it's something that I struggle with. So it's like I feel like you have to be able to have those conversations so people understand like, yeah, I do cool stuff, but like
Hmm.
behind the cool stuff there's a lot of anxiety.
Right?
It's a matter of facing the anxiety head on. It's not like I've gotten over it. It's just like, oh, I'm anxious right now. Let me find out why and then push in that direction to see if the anxiety subsides. So that's
Mm.
so that's kind of the model I've been running off of the past 2 years. That's why I've been able to progress the way I have, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Good advice.
Yeah.
Okay, come on with the
I'm
session.
trying. I'm trying out here.
Yeah, like I'm just like, wow. Like also speak like piggybacking off of that, how do you feel as a black artist in
Mhm.
this space of anime? How do you feel like what are your efforts towards making sure of representation is positive and present through your
Yeah.
artistry? Mm-hmm.
So what I really 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 love about the anime scene is that there's so many this it's so diverse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you see online like the you can't do that. That character's not black. So it's like I never liked that narrative. so
Yeah.
so like when I see anytime I see a black cosplayer doing that thing, I'm like, yeah, you do you. Like I remember the first Weave Stop event I went to, Jess Devon was cosplaying Law, and I walked by and I was like, he gonna be black today, and he like
Right.
his face lit up, and I was like, yeah.
Oh.
So like I love doing that to promote our people and
Mhm.
get them hyped up in these areas, you know. Specifically when it comes to my art, Kyoto, the song is a great example because I try to combine the aesthetic of the Japanese music and the themes with like the 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 slang or the black influence that I could provide. So
Mhm.
like in the chorus, it's last night in Kyoto. Then you have the ad lib Yodo Yodo.
Mhm.
Met a bad little chick. She was rocking a
Mhm.
kimono. So
You can
like
cuss on my
bad.
show.
Oh, I can't. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. So like met a bad little bitch. She was rocking the kimono. So like
Mhm.
obviously the kimono is a Japanese thing. Bad little bitch is a slang that has developed in the black community. So like combining the slang with the theme and then grown folk in the end of the chorus there. That's like a term that my grandmother used in Chicago, so it was like combining that influence of my black culture to the music while talking about other topics is one way I do it. Another way is I like to try to just represent black people in my music videos as well. Um, Whether that's like having a girl in my music video that's black in cosplay, or
Mhm.
um, bringing out the homies for a music video, stuff like that. Like I try to make sure to incorporate really all walks of life, but I
Mhm.
want to make it known that I am in support of the black community as well. I am a black man, and I want you, I want, my end goal is to show the awkward black kids like myself, I was, that
Mhm.
you can take your awkwardness and turn it to something cool.
Yeah.
So that's really, and to do that, I have to incorporate myself, which is my black culture.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah.
And you can tell like through your visuals that when you do point out or make references to the anime and Japanese culture, it's very respectful. It's not
Oh, yeah.
it's very inclusive. It's like you can tell, like, for example, with the Kyoto single, like it's like her kimono and the aesthetics and the landscape that of course your friend put behind it, it wasn't over fetishizing. It was just like, this is
Hmm.
the reference, this is the aesthetics, and I'm making sure to do this in a way that is representative of this culture while representing mine. So I'm
Exactly.
like, I have to commend you for that, because
Thank
like
you.
that was a very good way to bring those two together to bridge that.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it was a it was a line I had to toe for sure, trying to figure out how to make it work. Because you don't want to offend anybody's culture or anything when you're
Right.
doing a song like Kyoto. So you got to make sure the imagery is on point. You got to make sure the references in the songs on point. You got to make sure, to the best of your ability, that you're not overstepping any boundary. You're not going from um, appreciation to appropriation and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's like it's a fine line to toe, but I think me, Randy, Holly were able, and Shikati as well, were able to pull it off in a really tasteful way.
Yeah. So, how do you navigate the intersectionality of being both a Black artist and an anime enthusiast? Like,
Navigating it,
especially on social media and stuff where you're presenting yourself, you know?
um, I think for the most part, I go ahead and I'm sorry, can you elaborate for me? Because the
So,
term intersectionality always messes me up, just because like I know what it means, but like I don't have a full grasp of it.
okay. So for in my regards, because like it can be interpreted different ways. Like I feel like intersectionality is where all of these things collide, where
Hmm.
your blackness, your anime fandom, your being a rapper, all of these things are intersectional in who you are as a person. Because you
Hmm.
can be a black guy and still like anime and all these things, whereas before we were kind of, as black people, like, oh, you only can like sports,
Yeah.
hardcore rap, like. And so now with representation and us actually pushing our own representation through the blurred community, people are seeing that there are nerds in the blurred
Hmm.
community. There are people that you wouldn't have thought were,
In the
anime
bird
fans,
community, yeah,
people who lift weights, people who, because it's like the community of like anime years before, let's say pre-COVID, because we don't even have
hmm
to go back that
yeah,
far.
yeah. You really don't. You really don't. You really don't.
Pre-COVID was just like, oh, blah blah blah. Now I'm guilty of even saying this, like the anime musties. It's like, okay, but it was like if it's very exclusive, like a particular type of person, you can visualize it. This is who likes anime. And then now, and which
uh,
we see through your videos, like even the aesthetic of the girls that like anime,
yeah,
sometimes you'll see like these Twitter conversations, especially too when Megan Thee Stallion was coming out. Everybody's
yeah.
like, oh, she don't like anime for real. And then she did that live, and all those musties were shut down when
Done. They
somebody,
were
I think,
done.
was like
Done.
episode 32, blah, blah, blah. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, ha ha ha, blah, blah, blah. Like she knew. And
Yeah.
I was like,
It's like, oh, she's about it. Yeah.
so for you and that intersectionality of being a rapper and being black and also being a blurred, like you're not just the typical, how do you
Yeah.
navigate that? Like How do
So
you showcase all these ways that you are a very complicated and round character? You're not this flat black character. It's like you're
yeah,
probably
I got
wondering
you.
how I got here.
Yeah, 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 that's the vibe. Yeah, no. So through the music mainly is the thing, music and the videos and my interaction with people as well. That's a major one actually. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it. My interaction with people is a very big one because I'm a big black guy, so
Hmm.
people are intimidated by my presence just when I'm around because I have an opposing figure. Um, so when I speak to people, when I interact with them in a very friendly, kind way, I'm big smiley. I laugh a lot. I have a very actually developed a very like gleeful, almost like Santa Claus like laugh over the past couple years, just out of I don't know where, but I've noticed it. And I'm just like, ha ha ha. Ha. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? Like, but it's like it's very friendly and inviting. um, so my interactions with people, I try to give them a taste of who I am as a person. So when
Hmm.
they see me online, they see my music, they interact with someone who's maybe someone else who's interacting with my content, they are able to say, well, no, I met this guy, he's this type of person, or they can see the content and be like, oh, I love this because you did this at this event. And this really just shows another side of you.
Hmm.
I have one fan actually who, when I dropped Kyoto, he was very shocked because he was like, "Oh wow, I knew you were into anime, but I didn't know you had this much appreciation for the Japanese culture as
Ah,
well." So things like that, it all kind of just comes out together. And the more I create, and the more I produce, and the more I put my face out there,
hmm.
people are able to develop a more round idea of who I am versus just like seeing me one time and being like, oh, that's the guy who made Bunny Girl and he just likes girls in tight suits, you know?
Yeah.
So it rounds itself out the more I put my face out there,
Yeah.
I think, because we're all three-dimensional people. We all have
Yeah.
deeps, valleys, peaks, and things of that nature. So um, it, you see it
It
over
makes
time.
sense.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see it over time.
Yeah, it makes sense because I feel like, especially when you brought up the opposing figure too, it's like, and then the anime laugh because that ha ha
Yeah,
ha,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Yeah,
it's giving a little
exactly.
piccolo. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I feel like that makes sense. Like you're just saying, like I'm approachable, I'm here, I'm accessible, for you as a
Hmm.
fan. And I feel like that is also indicative of your experience as a black man because you're aware of yourself and how you're perceived. So you
Yeah.
have to kind of do these things to be like, hey, it's okay, come over here and you
Yeah.
know.
I'm not gonna
Um
bite.
yeah, like I don't and then
Yeah.
also too like being, holding space for other people and being like it's not just about the girls in the bunny suits. It's about the art and the
Yeah.
storytelling and all of those things. So with that, especially you would have more knowledge and insight. Where would you say, and like going back to pre-COVID, what do you think of the evolution of anime rap as somebody who participates in it and you're also watching others come along like either after you, before you, at that same time? Where do you think the evolution is going?
So it's cool because when I was younger, I used to listen to a good amount of anime rap, just because it was cool. It was rap. I loved rap and I loved anime, so I'll listen to it every now and then. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. It
Mhm.
was never my like go-to genre, but it
Yeah,
was a lot of fun to listen to. Um,
right.
so listening to them, I kind of got to the point where I was like, it's kind of all the same vibe.
Mm,
Not vibe, but like it was a lot of just like either character raps or raps with anime bars in them, but like nothing contextual, nothing that was felt whole to me as an artist as I grew up. Um, so it's interesting because as I had the idea to start doing like more anime rap, like with context, like Space Cowboy, my song "See a Space Cowboy," that's like I flip. the slogan from from Cowboy Bebop, see you Space Cowboy, to be like, you gonna see me Space Cowboy. So like, you're going to see, like, you I'm going to keep doing my thing. I tell them the story of kind of like my journey up to this point. Like, I started off as a 12-year-old, and I've been doing this for 15 years, and I say that stuff throughout the song, and kind of build up the lore of myself throughout the song, and then the chorus drops is, "You gonna see me, Space Cowboy." Like, I've done this to this point, so you gonna see me, and that the same thing with Bunny Girl. I contextualize the anime song so that it's more than just an anime rap song. It's more of either a story, more of a just a fun song.
Right.
What I've been calling it is, I'm mislabeling it, to be honest, but I've been saying like it's more like contemporary anime rap. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to make like a anime rap that could be consumed by the general public.
Yes.
Um, that's the idea. Um, and it's interesting. I say it's interesting because I've realized a lot of other artists are seeing the same thing I'm seeing and are also
Mm.
doing that as well. Game Boy Jones is one that I've recognized as someone
Okay.
who's doing that, and it's really cool because I can't remember the song on the top of my head right now, but there was a song that he dropped, and it was kind of in the same vein as the music that I dropped, where it's like, yes, it's a nerd song, like it clearly has nerd references, but it's a song about stuff that he's going through, and he kind of just like uses the anime to put it in a shell.
Mm.
So that's the route that I see like anime rap going forward. There's still, of course, people who are just dropping anime bars. That's always going to be a thing because it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like a lot of people are starting to grasp onto the, oh, wait a minute, let's try to do this in a more creative way, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's dope. Speaking of like anime soundtracks, have you
Hmm.
heard Samurai Champloo?
Oh, hmm,
Right.
yes, 100%. Yes,
Okay. Cause
yes,
like
yes.
just the
That's,
hip hop bebop, like people I think are
yep,
still sleep on like the masterfully way that they masterfully and skillfully, like brought that together and
created
just
that.
slid it
That
and
was
just walked away.
the boy Nujabes. He's a
Okay.
legend. He
Yeah.
they call him the Godfather, not grandfather, Godfather of lo-fi. Him and Jay
Yes.
Dilla. Yeah, and they both are phenomenal producers.
Mm,
Both passed sadly,
yeah.
but their influence is seen throughout so much stuff. So much music nowadays is that vibe. And
Yes.
I even have a song coming out on my upcoming project, Weebology 101, that
Hmm.
samples the outro for Shampoo. Samples the
Yes.
Hadawasuge. Yeah, so that song is, I'm very excited to release that song. Um, and Nujabes has just been like a huge influence to me in my music career this entire
Mm.
time. So like, yes, I love Samurai Champloo. It's one of my go-to anime. I turn it on in the middle of the night. Be when I got to go to bed, I'm like, I'm gonna just turn this on real quick and I pass out while the theme song playing in the background. It's like, this is peace.
Yes, it is. It's my comfort anime.
Yes, same.
Yes.
Yes, it's needed. It's needed. High
Yes.
five.
I'm all late.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's fine. I love it. I
um,
love Samurai Champloo.
wow. Oh my goodness. Cause like there's like I could go on a tangent about like anime soundtracks and like we may have to do another episode to just
Oh, that'd be
go
fun.
back and forth with that. But
Yeah,
I want
that'd
to
be
know more
fun.
about your upcoming project, like Weebology 101. Like whatever you're allowed to tell us. Like
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Yeah. So that's dropping. I believe I have it set for June.
Uh-huh.
That date might push back a little bit depending on forces of nature. But so the idea is, it's a anime project that anyone can consume, general public can enjoy. Like I was saying before, that's like the whole theme of my art right now. It's in collaboration with the homie He Who Vibes. He
Yeah.
produced the Kyoto song and
Yes.
every song on the project coming up, and every single that I'm releasing leading up to the project's release. Um, I have 3 songs planned for the single drops, and then I have the project, which is going to be 6 song track. I mean six track project,
Mhm.
and those 6 tracks are going to be Kyoto, Heart Shaped Stars, which drops next week. I'm
Mhm.
not next week, but next month. This is it March already?
It is March on Friday.
March. Okay, so next month still. We're still in February. So
Yes.
next month, Heart Shaped Stars drops, and then the March, April, May, I'm dropping Stole the Show.
Okay.
Um, so that project, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm planning to have Christina Kelly do some voice acting on it as well, just like she did for
Nice.
the Senpai Squad song. And it's just like a culmination of like what I've experienced so far as both a rapper and anime nerd. This
Yeah.
is the culmination of
Yeah.
both. There's rapidy rap bars on it. There's storytelling. There's fun.
Mhm.
It's a dope project. I'm super excited to share with everybody for real.
It
I
sounds
really am.
dope. It sounds dope.
Yeah,
Are you gonna do a listening party here in Houston?
I am now.
Okay.
I am now. We're gonna figure this out now that you're bringing it up. Ooh, that's a
Invite
thank you, thank
me.
you. Oh, you're definitely invited, 100%. You just gave me the idea. I have to. It's happening because of you. Like, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
definitely gonna do the listening party now. I'm gonna see if I can do it in tangent with the homies at Senpai Squad and see if they agree with that. That'd be really cool. Um,
That'll be dope.
yeah, it would be. So that's definitely happening now. I'm gonna figure it out. Me and my manager will
Yes.
figure it out. Um, Also, speaking of Senpai Squad, I also have
Yes.
the music video with them dropping in April. That's why I
Okay.
stole the show's coming out in May. We're skipping that month because April was for Senpai Squad music videos. And
Yes.
we're having the release party for that in Vegas during the SumiCon
Oh,
event.
okay.
Yeah, so
I might
yeah,
have
so
to
that
slide. When am I
yeah,
going
you
in April? Okay.
April 5th
Make a
through
plan.
7th is SumiCon. It's an X-rated convention, anime convention, but I went last year, it was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
Uh and yeah, if you can make it out there, I definitely recommend it. It'd be a great
Yeah.
time.
Okay, that sounds
Um
dope.
yeah. Just look at SumiCon. I'm sorry, TSUMI.
Okay,
Con.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So having the release party for that,
Mm,
and that's the music video that I'm extremely excited to show
mm.
everybody because it came out so good. It came out so good.
Yeah.
Like it makes me it's it's one of those videos where it's like, dang, I did that. Like remember that thing you say you have on your wall, you're like, I didn't make that. That's one of those
Yeah.
videos for me. I'm like, was that really me in that? Like, was
Right?
was I doing
Okay.
that for real? Like, it's one of those moments, you know. So I'm excited for that.
It's like you're a proud papa releasing your project into the
Yeah,
world.
exactly. I'm like, oh, you guys ready for this? Because I'm not.
Right. Are there any upcoming cons that you'll be attending this year? Con
Yeah.
season,
So, SumiCon, like I said,
for sure.
WeebCon is coming up end of March, so I'm going to
Okay.
WeebCon, then Sumi.
Okay. Okay.
Also plan to go to Anime Expo, DreamCon, of course. I'm
Mhm.
actually doing performance during DreamCon's after party with Senpai
Oh,
Squad, so that's
dope.
exciting. Yeah, I'm
Okay. I'm
super.
going to
I'm.
DreamCon too, so I will see
Hey,
you there.
you gonna get it?
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a family
yeah,
reunion.
yeah. That's what
It's
that's the
a
vibe
family
I be
reunion
getting when
con.
people talk about it. I haven't gone yet. I wanted to go last year, but I couldn't get the days off.
Let me
So
close
this,
up. Yes. Oh my
but
goodness.
this year I'm definitely going,
So
without
you've
a
never
doubt.
ever been to DreamCon?
This will be my first year going, and I'm so hyped. I'm so
Bananas.
I
Just know
believe it.
as a long-term DreamCon attender and
Oh
fan, and I
yeah.
did my first panel last year.
Oh
Bananas.
wow.
You're gonna love it. It really for real. The first time I went to DreamCon,
Hmm.
DreamCon was my first con ever.
Oh
That is
wow.
so that's a good thing and a bad thing because every con I went to afterwards was held
Didn't
to
live
that
up.
standard,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that feeling of kinship and camaraderie, and then like especially from that first one, like just the vibes, like everybody was so on just like like no stress. Like nobody's trying to outdo anybody. Nobody's like, oh, you stepped
Yeah,
on my shoe. No, it's just like
yeah. This
you
is a
bump
good
into
vibe.
somebody, it's like, oh, I like your cosplay. Me too. Let's take a picture. It
Yeah,
feels very at home. You meet new friends. I've made so many friends there that I'm still in touch with today.
that's amazing.
And it's just you're gonna love it, especially as an artist. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. And
I'm
then I
so
had some
excited
friends
for it.
that pulled up last year
Hmm.
that hadn't been before that are artists. They lost their minds. They were just like,
Like
I'm coming
this is the
back. I
vibe
didn't
here. Like
realize
this,
you missed it.
we're just doing this shit. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm so
literally.
excited for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody that talks about how amazing it is, and I'm just like, yo, I have to experience this. I have
It
to.
is amazing. It is an
Even
experience.
my homie Soul Tooth
Uh,
and Kim with Senpai Squad, both of
uh-huh.
them were like, yeah, we went to DreamCon, bro, and that's like one of the best conventions I've ever been to. And they're both Asian, and so like it's
Yeah.
like it's like everybody that goes has a good time. Like it's not just like a black people thing. It's like everybody loves being
Yes.
there. So
Yes.
it's I love it. I'm excited.
It's very much family reunion vibes. Like I said, from the first time I went, I was like, this is a family reunion, like meeting cousins you didn't know. Like,
Yeah, that's like, oh, what's up?
yeah.
It's like, what's
And
up,
then
cousin Randy? I didn't know you was my cousin, but like, that's what's up, bro. Let's
very
go put this
much,
anime together.
very
Like,
much. It's like you hear too the same thing like last year, too. Like even with the lines and stuff, you're walking into the space and you're like, oh, I know you from on the internet.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
follow
yeah,
you on
yeah.
Instagram. Like it's so being able to touch people is like is dope. It's that space, and I think you'll love it. And I love it. And then following other, I went to WeebCon. WeebCon is
Hmm.
pretty dope. So
Yeah,
no shade to WeebCon, but it's like going to
it's
one and then the
different
other. It's
vibes.
like
Yeah, I
WeebCon
feel
is
you.
dope. It's a
Yeah,
vibe, but DreamCon. But then there's
it's a
other
different.
cons that are good too. So
Yeah, there's a lot
yeah.
of I just love cons. I went to Anime Expo last year. That was a lot of fun. Outside of I didn't go Saturday, so I
Uh,
didn't get the big crowd that everyone was complaining about.
uh,
Sunday I went, and
uh,
Sunday's crowd was a lot less. Uh, uh like a what is it? A hazard, I
oh
guess.
yeah. Yes.
I guess you call it a hazard because everyone's like you can't barely move. I'm like that's a fire hazard. But
Yeah.
apparently Anime Expo Saturday was like crowded, too crowded. But Sunday there was enough walking room to get around, do things. A lot of people still, so a lot of interactions, a lot of fun to be
Yeah.
had. Um, so I'm gonna go Saturday this year, and
Uh,
hopefully it's not as bad as people say it is, but we gonna see.
yeah. Yeah.
We gonna see.
Have you heard of Tokyo Nights also?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
yeah.
I
Okay.
performed with them. Yeah,
Okay.
Tokyo Night Festival, Tokyo X. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
performed with them actually 2 years now because the first year they had the storm that took everything out. So
Yes.
they only had the Sunday event. I performed during that one in my Killer Bee outfit.
Yeah.
Tokyo X I performed the last year, and that went really, really, really well.
Yes.
They said they definitely bring me back this year, and apparently they have a lot of plans to bring like voice actors from like
Okay.
Japan and everything too this year. So
That would be
it's
dope.
I can't give these secrets away. It's not my information to give away. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Understandable.
but it the lot they told me really cool things. So I'm excited for Tokyo X this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Tokyo X last year, I went on different days, so we that's probably why we didn't cross paths, but it's
Mm,
dope. And the year where they had the big flood, I was just like I didn't get to go because of the storm too. So
yeah.
I was just like, man, but like, yeah, back to what you were saying earlier, Houston's anime community and like cosplay and just it's ridiculous and it's
It's
people are sleep on it
booming.
because people don't know it's so much to do out here.
Yeah, it is. It blew like I said when I moved out here, it blew my mind. Like I did not know there was an anime scene this bustling
Yeah.
until I moved out here and I saw it and I was like, yo, hold on. Because like I was saying earlier, like I didn't even want to do anime rap because I was just
Mhm.
online based. And I'm like, this is kind of like it's not my feel. I'm not feeling this. But when
Yeah.
I moved out here and saw how active the scene was, there was so much opportunity to like make it a tangible thing that I was like, let me see how I feel about this. And then when I did my first performance at Pomp Fancy during their event, I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I could do this more often. Like this is my route now. This is what I can
Right?
do. Like
Yeah.
Houston, I love Houston.
Yeah.
I moved out here and I love it. Like,
You're welcome.
yeah. I give you that one. Thank you. Like,
You're
yeah, I
welcome.
love it.
What advice would you give to aspiring rappers, that are coming up under you in the rap industry and in the anime rap industry?
In the rap industry is just keep creating. That's the main thing.
Mhm.
Throughout all the trials and tribulations I faced to this point, is I've just continued to create. Um, start creating, and
Mhm.
then know that it's gonna probably not be very good unless you're like a prodigy. Know that it's probably gonna be booty cheeks, but just keep going. Like Dory said, just keep swimming, and then one day you'll be to a point where everything you make is at least something that you could vibe to, and then
Mhm.
you can pick out what you want to present you
Yeah.
and or represent. I'm sorry, not present. What you want to represent you. At
Mhm.
that point, it would no longer be a can I make a good song? It's is this song what I want to put out?
Mhm.
So just keep going. That's the really the for everybody in every field they pursue. Not even just rap. It's like
Yeah.
just keep going. If you have
Okay.
a goal, if you have a dream, push forward. And like Naruto said, you gonna become Hokage, bro. Believe it.
Believe
Believe
it.
it. Yeah, exactly. Believe it.
That's some really good advice. I mean, like sometimes the simplest thing is the most honest thing. It's like
Yeah.
keep pushing, don't give up. Like how
Right.
long did it take for you to feel like you had your big break?
When I moved to Houston,
Ah.
yeah. Literally everything up to that point was just me believing inside that something would work. Um, when I moved from Vegas, I was at the lowest point of my life. So I
Mm,
moved from Vegas back actually with my mother. And
mhm.
when I was making that decision, it was like I could either struggle in Vegas and try to figure out this music thing on the West Coast, or I could move back with my mother. And something told me that if I moved back with my mother, everything that I wanted to happen would happen. I moved
Mhm.
back. I lived with her in Myrtle Beach for like 4 months.
Mhm.
Got laid off from my job, and then like 2 months later, my family told me that we were moving to Houston. And then the first day in Houston, I opened up for Made in Tokyo,
Wow.
and from there, it's just been going up.
Yeah.
So it really, I just kept going.
Yeah.
Like I
It was
made
up
the,
from
and
there. But
yeah,
you
exactly.
manifested it too. You told yourself that. Like, you're like, I moved back with my mom. Everything's gonna go up from here. And it literally
Yeah, it
did. I'm
did.
big
It
on
did.
manifesting.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what happened. So
Yeah.
it did. I
Yeah.
made the hard choice because people love their independence. I love my independence, even though it's stressful. I love being able to rely on myself and figure out my own stuff. But I knew I had a bigger goal in mind, so I made the choice that allowed me to pursue to make that goal. That allowed me the best chances to make that goal true.
Yeah.
And like you said, I manifested it because there was a lot of things that fell into place to make the Made in Tokyo show happen. Like Made in Tokyo had canceled the show like 3 times before he
Mhm.
actually did it, and they just so
Mhm.
happened that the person that had performing the show dropped out because he canceled so many times. So I
Wow.
just got the opportunity to perform by luck. I happened to reach out to them as they were looking for another act. Um, it just so happened the show was like the day we were planning to leave, so we had to drive we had to leave like 2 days early to drive all the way from Myrtle Beach to Texas to
Yeah.
make the show happen. And I performed for that show the night we made it to Texas. So
Wow.
like it was a lot of things had to line up to make that happen. And that just gave me the push to like continue pushing and knocking on doors and saying, hey, can I do what I do for you?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's dope. That's
Yeah.
inspirational. That's
Yeah.
inspirational.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I
Give
appreciate
us with
that.
the origin
Yeah.
story.
Yes, it's the questions you ask, yo. The questions you ask are what, like, you ask really good questions. I was looking at them, I was like, these are amazing. Like, you did doing a great job. You
Thank
really are.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We've made
Anytime,
it
take
to
it easy. Absolutely.
our we've been vibing. Like this is
Yeah,
what
for
I
real.
love. I love like just making a conversation and like, like we've connected. I'm coming to your
Hmm.
listening party. Can't wait
Yes,
to
for
see you
sure.
at DreamCon.
Oh, DreamCon's going to be amazing. I know that's going to be amazing.
Yes,
I can't
like
wait to see you there either. And now you definitely coming to listen to the party. That's definitely happening.
for
It's like,
sure,
and
for sure.
I gotta plan
Um,
it out, but it's happening.
is I will help you. We'll talk about it offline.
All
Like
right,
I
bet,
will
bet, bet.
help put things in place if you need like to make that happen. Like
Appreciate that. Thank you. That's
for
love. That's love for real.
real. Cause low key but high key, I have connects.
Oh, okay. Word, word.